Troops from Arab Gulf states, including hundreds from Saudi Arabia, have moved into Bahrain to help the government contain pro-democracy demonstrations. The predominantly Shia-led protest movement in Bahrain has called the arrival of foreign troops a declaration of war. David Loyne has this report.
The movement of Saudi troops in armoured vehicles across the 25-kilometre causeway that joins the two nations across the Gulf marks a new stage in the wave of protests that have rocked the Arab world. Sunday saw the worst violence in the Bahraini capital Manama since the protest began a month ago. The police were overwhelmed and protesters have strengthened their hold of the central Pearl roundabout. Saudi Arabia said it was entitled to intervene as a member of the six-nation Gulf Cooperation Council. The Saudi concern that unrest among the Shia majority in Bahrain might spread across the water to Saudi Arabia. The troops could try to break the protest in Pearl roundabout. The leader of the main opposition group, Al-Wad, says the army would only be welcome if they were against a foreign invader.
We say to our brothers in the Gulf, your army is welcome when our country faces danger from outside, but we will consider them an occupation when you come to oppress the people.
The 1,000 Saudi troops looked relaxed as they arrived, but their exact role in crowd control is unclear. For the first time since this unprecedented series of uprisings began, troops from one country have gone to assist in the affairs of another. David Loyne, BBC News.
Let's talk about this some more. We're joined here in the studio by the Saudi-born academic and writer, Dr. Mai Yamani. Mai Yamani, so what is going on? Does it seem as though the government in Bahrain cannot manage to contain these pro-democracy protests?
The government in Bahrain appears like a pariah state, because this is like a, in terms of international legitimacy of the state, to have a neighboring state send its military. If we look at the role of this Gulf Cooperation Council that was established in 1981, it was really to protect the Gulf Arab countries, Bahrain and Kuwait and Qatar and Oman and United Arab Emirates and of course Saudi Arabia, from outside threat. It was not really meant to be used for repressing or suppressing protests and demonstrations. So this is the
But who's going to worry about
that
if it's used like that? I mean, is anybody going to be worried by that?
I think that the worry would be that we would see more bloody confrontations, because the Saudi army are coming in, they are outsiders, and they are known to be more brutal in their approach to protests. They say they are guarding government installations, but the truth is, it is that fear from talk of constitutional monarchy and the real democracy.
They're worried about the contagion spreading from their neighbour,
Shia majority in Bahrain. If the Bahraini royal family accepts the demands of the opposition for a real constitutional monarchy, this is unacceptable for the bigger neighbour, Saudi Arabia.
So does this sound to you then as though the Bahraini ruling family, the royal family, are saying no political settlement, no political solution, we're going for the tough military solution?
The Bahraini royal family, interestingly, appear divided here, because the Crown Prince has been negotiating and talking with opposition and accepting some of their demands. And yet the Prime Minister would be more, did not want the status quo to change, and is more appears to be favoring the military interference of the neighbor, Saudi Arabia. So here we have the divided opinion of the Bahraini rulers. But basically, it looks as if Saudi Arabia, that has just suppressed a potential protest on the 11th of March, last Friday, would not like to see more protests in its neighboring country. They are tied by an umbilical cord.
All right. Mai Yamani, got to leave it there. Thank you very much.